welcome back to my channel. It is finally August, which means that I know some of you guys are going back to school soon or have already gone back to school. So I decided to sit down and do a full drugstore affordable back to school makeup tutorial. The reason I made it drugstore was because I don't know about you guys, but when I was in high school, I was balling on a budget, okay? I was looking for the best of the best, which at the time was not the best. I'm getting old, you guys. I just turned 24 on Sunday. Yeah, I'm getting old. So high school for me was a while ago and we did not have good drugstore makeup. Now you guys have a lot to choose from. Like this full face right here is drugstore and it's affordable. You can get it all at Ulta. Like, it's some good stuff, okay? So you guys have a lot to choose from. You do not need to spend a whole bunch of money. This isn't gonna be some super in-depth with lashes, no lip liner, like it's just one lip, gotta go, bye, see ya. This takes maybe 15 minutes and you guys are out the door and ready to go, but you do still look super glam and cute. I do hope that this video is super helpful for some of you. I hope that you find some really good recommendations, especially since they are all so affordable. But before I get started in, I just wanna tell you guys, please hit that subscribe button down below. I want to mention because I've noticed that a lot of you guys watch my videos but you aren't subscribing, and I think it's because you don't realize you don't have to have a YouTube channel to actually subscribe to anyone, not just me but anyone that you guys watch. If you just have a Gmail, log into that Gmail, hit that subscribe button, you guys are automatically notified when you hit that bell as well on any videos for any of your favorite YouTubers, not just me. I want to say that because I've had a ton of people tell me that they don't know how to subscribe or they never knew that you could just subscribe with the Gmail. So want to quickly mention that, but now let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Before we go in with any foundation, we're just gonna quickly prime the skin. So I have two different ones that I'm using today, specifically because I am using a very mattifying foundation and I do have dry skin. I will kind of explain that in the next part, but for primer, I'm using the Milani Prime Perfection Face Primer. This is hydrating, pore minimizing, and it is oil-free. I love this, and then I also have the Spotlight Illuminating Primer from Physicians Formula. This one is also really, really good. So I'm first going to go in with the Milani one. If I could get some of this out. I feel like this just really creates a nice smooth canvas for your foundation to go on top of. And so now that my skin is all hydrated, I'm going in with a Spotlight Primer from Physicians Formula. So this is just going to add a really, really nice kind of glow and spotlight to the face. Using two different primers obviously isn't necessary every time you do your makeup, and I definitely don't do that every time I do mine, but because these do two different things, that's why I'm using these two ones. So this one hydrates and pore minimizes while this one adds a nice glow to the skin, so that's why I'm kind of mixing these two onto my face. So now we're going to move on to foundation. I feel like foundation is a very, very important step to a makeup routine because I feel like everyone's skin is different. Luckily, I have a couple of drugstore recommendations for you guys, and the first one that I'm actually using today, this is a Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It is mattifying and it lasts up to 24 hours is what it claims. I think it definitely lasts a very, very long time, and this gives a very kind of Photoshop full coverage effect to the skin. I love it, although it does say mattifying because I did add a hydrating primer and also a glowy primer. It doesn't exactly look super matte on my skin, but if you do have oily skin, I think this would be an amazing foundation for you. So if you have dry skin like I do, you can kind of tweak around with the primers depending on what you want to do to make this work. So I'm going to use this one today, but before I go in with that, I want to tell you guys, if you're looking for something that doesn't have as much full coverage as that does, the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir, this one's a really good one as well, and the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. These two are very similar to each other. They're both really great options if you have dry skin and you want it to look a little bit more healthy, a little bit more glowy. I really like these ones. And then if you're looking for a different foundation that just really targets oily skin, I really like the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. This is a demi matte finish. It's air light and oil free. So I really, really like all of those foundations, and I wanted to kind of recommend each of those to you guys depending on what kind of skin type you have. So now that I've kind of rambled on about those, we're gonna go ahead and go in with the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. If you guys are curious what shade, this is the 101 Light Beige. You can find this at Ulta for, I believe, at $12. They also have it online, and I believe they have more shades online than they do in store. Now the next step is also very important, and the reason I say that is because we need to conceal those under eye bags, girl. Look at these right here. I don't even go to school, but I wake up early just like you guys, so I know if you guys are up late doing homework or studying or just on YouTube watching this video, I know that you got some under eye bags in the morning, so we're gonna go ahead and cover those up. I have the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. This one is a little bit more dewy. And if you guys have some oily skin, this is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. I believe these are both around $5. They're both super amazing. You can get them at Ulta as well. I'm going to go ahead and use the Milani Conceal and Perfect one. I have barely any of this left, but this is in the shade 100 Pure Ivory. I'm using the same sponge that I use for my foundation. If you guys are curious, this is from e.l.f. I believe it was like $3 or $5, I'm not really sure, but again, very inexpensive, and it actually works super good. I don't even use beauty blenders anymore, to be honest with you guys. I just use whatever cheap drugstore sponge because they work all the same. No need to pay $20. Now the next thing we're gonna go in with is setting powder. We're gonna wanna go ahead and set all that concealer into place. So the one that I really like from the drugstore, I'm actually almost out of this, and I got it just a couple of months ago. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I got it in the shade 10 Fair Light. So this has a little bit of color. It's not completely translucent, but I like to just kind of tap it onto the lid. And I like to take this brush right here. This is from Morphe. This is a Y11. And I just take a little bit on this brush, tap off the excess, and just kind of pat that to where we put the concealer underneath the eyes, T-zone, chin, nose. If you guys have been to my channel before, you know that I'm obsessed with this bronzer, drugstore or not. It's my #1 bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I'm obsessed with this. I'm sure you guys have heard a ton of people talking about it, but it just gives the most beautiful bronze look to the skin, and they definitely have expanded their shade range as well, which is also a huge plus. If you guys have lighter skin tones or darker skin tones than I do, they definitely have a shade for you now, so that's super exciting. But I'm just taking a little bit of that on my cheekbones right there and just kind of lightly going in. I like to kind of pull my hair back and lightly kind of bronze up everywhere. You guys are gonna wanna use a little bit of a smaller brush for kind of sculpting out your cheekbones like I am right now. So something that is shaped a little bit long like this right here, or you can use something that's, you know, a little bit smaller like this. Or if you guys want to not have as prominent a cheekbones, you can just go in with a big fluffy brush. So what I actually like to do after using this one right here is just go in with a big one and kind of tap in lightly to that and just kind of go around everywhere just to kind of blend all that in. There's no disconnect between, you know, the lighter parts of the face with the darker parts. So for blush, this is actually the one that I personally used all the time when I was like in middle school, transitioning to high school, all throughout high school, and still to this day. This isn't the same one, but this is the same color brand. Like, this isn't the same container, but this is the same blush, if that makes sense. I don't want you guys to think I've had this for like the last 8 years, but I'm gonna go, oh my God, how old am I? You guys, I'm so old now. I'm 24. Okay, anyways, this is the Milani Luminoso blush, and they had this original formula, like, so this is the formula that they had like 2 years ago. Yes, this is like a 2-year-old. It's not an 8-year-old blush, but it's like 2 years old, probably expired, but whatever. I'm just obsessed. But I found out recently, like the last couple weeks, they brought this one back. So this is like the OG, and now you guys can get the OG too. So if you guys can tell, I've like used this to the brim. If this will focus, you better focus. Okay, there we go. But you guys can see, like, there's like nothing left in here. Like, it's about done, but I'm obsessed with this. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this, and this actually gives a really, really nice kind of highlight to the face, like not super glowy, as you guys can see, like it gives a really nice glow, but not like boom in your face. So if you're not one of those people that wants a lot of highlighter, definitely don't go in with another highlighter after this. This just gives a really nice kind of glow to the face naturally. So I need to kind of like blend that in. I feel like I just put like hella blush on. Now for highlight, I used to use the Wet n Wild one, but there's so much controversy with Wet n Wild. I don't really want to get into that drama, and I don't really know whether to like use their stuff on my channel or not, so I'm just kind of not. So this one actually I wanted to show you guys because I know they have it at Ulta in the Colourpop section. This is the Flexatrian Super Shock Cheek. So pretty, and this is actually like creamy but powdery at the same time. Like, this was for like $5. Why can't I not speak? This was $5. But I like to either go in with my finger and just kind of tap it on, or you could use a brush too, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and use this brush. It is a little weird because it is like creamy, but it's powdery at the same time. So $5? What? Of course you see that. How can you not? You can see me from like, from here, look, you can still see it. I promise you can. You'll be like on the chalkboard, like, no one has chalkboards nowadays. Do you guys still have chalkboards, or was that just me? Now the next thing before we move on, you guys are gonna wanna set your face into place. This is the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. This smells like heaven on earth. If I could have a foundation, if I could have a perfume in this scent, you guys can see how little I have left of this. Do you see that? I got like nothing. I'm gonna take what's left in here. Oh, it smells so good. Oh my gosh. Next, we all know we don't have a lot of time to do a lot to our brows at like 6 or 7 in the morning. So we're gonna go in with the Essence Make Me Brow. This is just a brow mascara, so it's going to kind of fill in your eyebrows without that much effort. Look, ready, set, 1, 2, 3. Boom, sis, you're done. Okay. I think this is like $3, $4, $5. I know it's not more than 5. Nothing that Essence makes is more than 5. 6 a.m. out the door, boom, done. Okay. Moving on, we're gonna do something super simple to the eyes. If you want to, you can just use your Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, pop that in the crease, be done, boom, over. Or if you want an eyeshadow palette that's really, really good from the drugstore, this is a Milani Most Loved Matte. You get a mirror. That's a pretty gigantic mirror, if I do say so myself. And then you got some really, really pretty good shades inside of here. I love these. They're just like the most amazing matte shades from the drugstore, to be quite honest. Or we're just gonna do some type of like pinky mauve look. So honestly, we're just gonna go in with these 2 shades right here. The 2 middle shades, they're like a very pretty kind of mauve color. So going in with the lightest one, which is this one right here. We're just gonna pop that into our crease. All right, and then going in with the shade that's right underneath it, and you're just gonna wanna lightly kind of just throw that all over your lid. So you just use those 2 shades and you're left with a gorgeous smoky eye. It looks like you put in a lot of effort and it takes less than a minute. So next we're going in with the Loreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. Love this stuff, it's so, so good. So I'm just gonna take that and put it all over my lashes. I know the lighting keeps changing and I am so sorry. I hate when the sun is like hiding behind the clouds, screws everything up, but we're gonna keep moving along. The last step to this makeup tutorial is lips. One of my favorite parts, and I have a really good drugstore liquid lipstick for you all. I don't know about you guys, but when I was in high school, I personally did not carry around a lip liner, lipstick, lip gloss, all that stuff. Like I wanted one thing and one thing only, and to be done with it. I'm not one of those people that like rushed off to the bathroom to like go fix her lipstick or anything. Like I don't have time for that. So I really like the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. This is a really, really good liquid lipstick. It lasts all day long. You guys could sweat for days in this. Like if you're in gym class, you're still gonna look super good with this, I promise you. It does not budge. It doesn't dry down on your lips like completely, where you're gonna have like super cracked, super dry lips throughout the day. It's actually a little bit sticky, so some people hate it, some people love it. I personally love it because it does stay for like 20 hours. I'm not kidding you guys. I have worn this from like 6 a.m. until, I don't know, like 10 o'clock at night, and it still was like full on there, looked like it just got applied, was not budging anywhere. So definitely recommend this one. This is in the shade Loyalist, is the perfect everyday color, hence why I'm using it, because you could use this every day for school, for work, for anything you want to do. It's the perfect nude. So there you guys have it. This is the finished look to this super simple drugstore back to school makeup look. I hope you guys have the best school year ever. If you want to see other drugstore makeup tutorials that I've done in the past, I will link this to the playlist down below, so definitely check those out. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!